Hello everybody, and welcome to the video notes for Unit 3, Day 6. Today we're going to be talking about non-integers on the number line. Today's video is dedicated to Gio in 6C. Hi Gio. And let's start out by going over some math vocabulary, and we're going to distinguish what is the difference between an integer and a non-integer. So first, an integer is a positive or negative whole number. So it's a positive or negative whole number. And examples of this could be, right, -8, 24, my favorite integer, 156, or -5,412. These are all positive or negative whole numbers. A non-integer is a positive or negative fraction or decimal in between integers. So it's not a whole number, but it's a fraction or a decimal in between whole numbers. So some examples might be 1/2, -0.7, or 56 3/4. Those are all examples of non-integers, fractions or decimals. All right, let's take a move on. Let's look at example 1. Locate and graph the number 3/10 and its opposite on this number line. So first I want to check on my number line, 0 is in the middle. My first integer on the right is 1. My first integer on the left is -1. And I want to take a look at my denominator here, right? My denominator is 10. So that means we're thinking about tenths. So I'm going to split in between my two integers into tenths, which means I have to divide this segment into 10 equal parts. And I can divide it into 10 equal parts by drawing 9 equal lines. Let's do that right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And each of these segments, right, each of these segments is going to be equal to 1/10. So how long is each segment on this number line? Equal to 1/10. And if we're trying to put 3/10, I just count out 1/10, 2/10, 3/10. So 3/10 is going to be right here. Right, that's where we have 3/10. Now it's also asking us to put the opposite on the number line. So we're going to go back the other way, and the opposite of 3/10 is -3/10. So I'm going to do the exact same thing, but going the other way. So between my two integers, 0 and -1, I'm going to split it into tenths by drawing 9 equal lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Count out 3 of them because we want 3/10. 1, 2, 3. And right there is going to be -3/10. So we look at the denominator, split the segments into that many segments, and then count out how many spaces for the numerator. Now that we've done this one as a class, it's time for you to pause and try on your own. Right up here, pause, and try this one right here. Do that right now. Now you are now you are continuing the video and checking your work. Locate and graph the number 4/5 on this number line. The integers here are 0 and 1. My denominator is 5, so I'm going to split between the two integers into fifths. So 5 segments, which means I have to draw 4 lines, so I can have 5 segments. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And each of these segments is going to be equal to 1/5. So each segment is 1/5. Let's count out to 4/5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4/5 is right there. Let's do the opposite. The opposite of 4/5 is negative 4/5. So let's do the same thing here. 1, 2, 3. Split it into fifths. 1, 2, 3, 4. Negative 4/5 is right there. All right, if you got all of that on your own, 3 gold stars to you. And now we're ready to level up. Exercise 1, let's read it first. Plot negative 7/4 and its opposite on the number line below. The fraction, negative 7/4, is located between which two integers? Explain your reasoning. So let's just do this first part where we're plotting negative 7/4 and its opposite on the number line below. And at this time, there's no secret word, but instead, if you're listening really closely, I want you to put a smiley face in the bottom right corner of your paper. Maybe you can draw a smiley face like right over here. A nice smiley face right here in this corner. Okay. Let's put 0 on our number line right in the middle. I think right there is the middle. And right, negative 7/4. So remember the denominator is 4. So we're going to think if each of these segments is a fourth, right, where would negative 7/4 go? Where would the opposite of negative 7/4 go? And I'm going to give you that to get you started, because I actually want you to see if you can figure out the rest of this problem on your own. So it's that time again. Give it a pause and then try putting this number and its opposite on the number line and then answering these 2 questions below. So pause and give that a go. And now you are continuing the video to check your work. So negative 7/4. If each of these is 1/4, we would have 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4. Right? So here's where we would have negative 1. And we know it's negative 1 because it's 4/4. So 4/4, 5/4, 6/4, 7/4 is right there. So negative 7/4 is right here. And we want to put its opposite. Let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4/4 is right here. So here's going to be positive 1, 5/4, 6/4, 7/4 right there. So on this number line, how much is each of these segments? Well, each segment is equal to 1/4. And the fraction negative 7/4 is located between, well, it's negative 1 here, and if we kept going, 1, 2, 3, 4, at the end here, we would have negative 8/4, which is the same thing as negative 2, because 8 divided by 4 is 2. So negative 2. So negative 7/4 is between the integers negative 1 and negative 2. All right, if you got that all on your own, 4 gold stars for you. And thank you very much.